Live from the BDN Studios, it's Bang and Dang.
That's awesome.
If you don't like that, then
You ain't black.
Welcome back to Outlaws, Gunslingers. Hosts are Bang and Dang, which is me and him. Coming back at you with some more true crime. I guess in the traditional true crime sense, it's not really a true crime thing, but it is a shooting and people get killed. So it was true and it was a crime. So take it for what you got there. Coming off of last week's episode, Sandy Hook, which jury's still out on that one. I guess. No, it's not officially out at this time of recording, so I don't know your guys' comments about it, if there are any, but if not, go back and comment on that episode. And what are we? Third week of February this is coming out. I'm thinking maybe it's time to get into serial killers, huh?
almost.
Which I'm thinking the last episode of each month would be serial killer episodes, right?
Yeah.
Last episode, serial killer. First episode of the month, mafia, and in between, this type of stuff. So I think that's the plan for now. See how that goes. We're definitely not gonna do serial killers every week because that'll get played out real quickly. Just like this is getting played out real quick. You can only do so many shootings, and
When you pick the shootings, there's all kinds of different true crime that you decide not to do.
we got true crimes that are 20-minute episodes. Well, maybe we'll do something that are 20-minute episodes down the line, but
You can do a fucking
at least 35 minutes.
You can do double vision. Do a double header.
But today we do have another shooting, which is the Kalamazoo shootings that happened in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh,
People might have heard about this because it was a Uber driver that was literally going around killing people, and then in between killing people was picking up people and driving them to their destinations and then killing more people. So crazy stuff that happened in this one. That was in February of 2016. And crazy shit that happened in between there. But before we get into it, go check out our YouTube at Bang Dang Network. Shorts, clips, what are those called? Oh, full episodes. And our YouTube exclusive Dart League. And if you just listen on Apple, Spotify, give us a review, share with your friends, and answer that Spotify question. This guy named...
yeah, I didn't even follow up on this. I just heard about it, and then it was out of the news within 3-4 days. So
Pretty much. Well, it was election year, so...
right.
And the year of Donald Trump, so I'm sure that was all over the place. I don't know, was it even officially a candidate in February 20th, 2016?
I don't think so.
Either way, we're covering Jason Dalton, who killed some people outside of an apartment complex, a Kia dealership, and outside of a Cracker Barrel restaurant, which 6 people were killed, 2 others injured.
Crazy.
You know how we roll. We get right into the suspect, or the piece of shit in this case, which is Brian Dalton. He was raised Greenfield, Indiana, and went to middle and high school in nearby Charlottesville.
Jason Dalton.
Jason Bryan, right. He attended Comstock High School in Kalamazoo, graduating in 1989.
Oh, he's from Greenfield, Indiana. Well, that makes sense.
He then attacked Kalamazoo Valley County Community attacked. He then attended Kalamazoo Valley Community College and graduated December 92 with an associate degree in law enforcement. Oh, geez. Though he did not enroll in the school's police academy program. Wonder why.
Well, it's because Dalton married his wife, Carol, in 1995. The couple had 2 children, age 10 and age 15 at the time of the Moitas. Carol started divorce proceedings the week after the killings.
I bet you she did.
Family was living in nearby Cooper Township over by Kalamazoo.
Right.
Dalton, he was generally described as he was a nice guy.
But truth is, I'm a nice guy.
Nice guy. He was a very good family man.
All right.
Though it was reported that he had been acting depressed in the days before the shootings occurred. Later, neighbors said Dalton had been acting paranoid right before the shootings.
According to an old friend, Dalton had tried to seek a job as a police officer in Michigan or in nearby states, but was unable to and had no interest in moving far away to find a police job. Well, did you go through training? Can't you be like, hey, man, I graduated law enforcement, but I didn't train at all. Can I have a job?
All right.
Instead, he studied auto body work at Wyotech in Laramie, Wyoming.
Cool.
And found work at a BMW office in New Jersey at one point. This allowed him to get jobs as a mechanic and then an insurance adjuster.
There you go.
He worked as a driver for Uber during 2 weeks preceding the killing spree and purportedly took fares between shooting incidents, yes. Uber representatives stated that Dalton had passed company background checks. Because, of course, he did. You can't... Never did anything before.
Well, a former co-worker of Dalton's at the
Maybe he's
insurance
not.
company
Can't remember.
recalled seeing Dalton yell at a customer over the phone, slam the phone down, pace around the desk angrily afterwards.
Well, now they're going to...
I mean, you get those if you're going to be on the phone with somebody, especially an insurance company. You're going to get some assholes calling.
Or now you're going to have people from 20, 30 years ago. Well, now that you think about it,
Right.
we were watching football one time.
His team lost. He was pretty pressed.
Right.
Dalton had previously been counseled about his professionalism towards customers. In one interview, another customer reported an encounter with Dalton in which he called him back over to re-examine a vehicle for damage that he had missed in his appraisal. He described Dalton as unprofessional and prone to anger, especially when you're criticizing the guy's work.
Well, if the idiot missed it, then it's his fault.
All right.
Well, hours before the shootings, apparently, Jason Brian Dalton went to 3 different gun stores with a friend. This friend didn't have any inkling of what was going on here.
Right.
At one of them, he purchased a black jacket with pockets designed to conceal a handgun. Though the store owner said Dalton was in good spirits during the visit, the friend who accompanied him said he was a little more quiet than normal during that trip. Dalton was an occasional customer at the same store, but never purchased a firearm there.
Oh, he's just like a
Just going around window shopping.
right, just a ganderer. Shortly after
A lingerer.
Shortly after 4 p.m., February 20th, 2016, Matt Millen was fired from the Detroit Lions. Shortly after 4 p.m., February 20th, 2016, Matt Millen requested an Uber pickup. He wanted to go to his friend's house. So he was picked up about 4:21 by Dalton, who was driving a silver Chevrolet Equinox. Piece of shit. During the drive, old Dalton received a call, and after finishing, he allegedly started driving crazy, quote unquote, said Matt, right? Mm-hmm. At one point, he entered an oncoming lane of traffic. He drove through a median strip. He ignored a stop sign, and he sideswiped a Ford Taurus, all while ignoring Mellon's pleas to stop.
Jeez, imagine being that guy, huh?
Right.
When Dalton finally did come to a stop at another stop sign, Mellon jumped out and called 911.
Damn.
He gave the dispatcher information about Dalton's Equinox, including its license plate, and the dispatcher put out a bolo. There were multiple calls to 911 by others before the following incidents took place, all of which were ignored. So,
Right.
before everything that we're about to say.
Especially in a Kalamazoo area. It's a college town. You got somebody driving erratically. You'd think the police would be on top of that.
4:34, Dalton returned home. Called his wife 41 minutes later, asking for the keys to her Chevy HHR.
Yeah, gotta get rid of the Equinox. Okay, they agreed to meet at his parents' residence, located approximately 10 miles away. On their way, however, Dalton accepted another pickup request at 5:15 from a woman who wanted him to pick up her boyfriend at Richland Township apartment complex. Pick up my boat. I need to pick up my boat. The shootings began around 5:42 when a woman was shot repeatedly in a parking lot of the same apartment complex. She survived her injuries. According to the woman, she was confronted by a man in a vehicle with a German Shepherd type dog sitting in the back.
Oh, shit.
Wait, he had a dog with him?
I guess. The driver asked her if she was another
Are you
person.
allowed to have dogs when you're an Uber driver?
Don't see why not.
It's like a conflict of security, right?
What?
Safety.
Why?
It's a dog.
Why? Are you allowed to carry a gun?
In Michigan, you can.
Right. So why can't you have a dog? Jeez. Right? I mean, obviously, the only thing that would be wrong is if the person was allergic to that you're picking them up.
Right.
If not, then you lost a fare. Who gives a fuck? Well, that driver who was in that car asked her if she was another person by a different name. When she replied that she was not, the man turned his car around and fired repeatedly at her.
Holy shit.
She survived by playing dead. Approximately 15 rounds were fired. 10 shell casings were recovered at the scene of that first shooting.
Damn.
5 children, including the woman's daughter, were present at the scene of the shooting, but they escaped unharmed through her efforts.
Holy shit, dude. This dude. What freaking changed? Investigators believe that Dalton's request for an Uber ride at the apartment complex had become botched. The requester texted Dalton moments after the initial request with a correction of the address, which would have led him to another location in the same area.
Oh, geez. So, what was that? The totally wrong place.
Right, and he knew that. She later attempted to call him to follow up with him on the address correction. But guess what? He said, I don't know this number. I ain't going to respond. The witness later reported seeing an Equinox driving so aggressively towards the apartment, at one point cutting him off at a southbound curve and risking a head-on collision. He later recognized Dalton on the news as the Equinox's driver. He's like, that's that son of a bitch right there. I knew he was destined for frickin'...
Well, at 6:05 on TBS, WCW is about to come on.
Right. Right.
20 years ago. At 6:05, approximately 20 minutes after that first shooting, Dalton called the requester saying that he hadn't responded to her texts and that he could not do the ride because something had come up.
Oh, sorry.
1 minute after the shooting, Dalton's Equinox was seen driving through a red traffic light at an intersection.
What an idiot.
Approximately a mile away from the crime scene. Damn, he went a mile in a minute. He was fucking rocking it, wasn't he? Right? 70 miles an hour at least. It struck another vehicle, fled the scene with the driver calling 911 to report the crash.
Holy shit. I mean, come on, you guys got a rogue freaking Equinox.
Right. At the same time, around, a neighbor found the injured woman who was soon to be treated by responding emergency personnel.
Dumb. Well, later on, Dalton.
Now he's just going to meet his wife with his wife and children and shit.
Dalton allegedly met his wife and children at his parents' home in Comstock Township. He explained to his wife that Equinox had been sideswiped by a disgruntled taxi driver.
Some taxi wars.
Right.
Fucking Ubers, fuck you.
And that guy was driving a Chevy Impala.
Jeez.
And then that guy fired a gunshot at him due to a rage that having his business taken away by Uber.
Yeah,
wow, he just come up with all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Did you have to mention the gunshot?
And not only that, how would he know he's an Uber? I mean, some people do put the Uber stickers on their car, but not all.
Not very often. He then assured her that he called Uber and they were handling the incident. He also provided his wife with a 9mm Taurus handgun, telling her it was not safe to be at the house without it.
If that was the gun he used, he's trying to frame this bitch.
Why would it not be all of a sudden safe to be at the house without it?
Who knows?
So you're telling me the taxi driver
They're gonna find out where he lives and shit, right?
You see him wearing a yellow leather
Wasn't there
jacket.
like an episode of The Simpsons or something where they were competing taxi companies
Yeah.
or some shit?
Then they like beat each other up. They're like
Yeah.
a mob or something.
Yeah.
In addition to saying his house was unsafe and his wife must carry a handgun at all times, he instructed her not to go to work and not to take their children to school.
At this point, if I was a wife, I'd be like, what the
Right.
fuck is your problem, Brian Jason?
Like, what did you do, Mr. Dalton?
Jason Brian, whatever the hell his name was. Brian Jason?
Right. Jeez. And the gardener comes out, Mr. Dalton, what did you do? Dalton then attempted to leave with the Hummer H3. I thought it was a HHR.
There was an HHR.
So, damn, how many cars these motherfuckers got? He wanted to take the Hummer H3, but that son of a bitch wouldn't start. Surprise. So he took the old reliable black Chevrolet HHR. All right. So look at these guys balling, huh? So he couldn't get the Hummer 3 to start. So he jumped in the old reliable black Chevrolet HHR that his wife had been driving. As he left, he allegedly told his wife that he could not tell her what was going on, but that it would be on the news. Oh, no.
And she immediately didn't think something was going to happen?
Right.
After leaving, Dalton withdrew money from an automated teller machine, which is an ATM machine.
So why are you going to steal money from your wife when you're committing crimes? What do you need money for? How much money was it?
Well, money.
That's $20.
Maybe need gas or something.
Right.
That's
That's a dumb bitch. Now he's pissed off that there was no
Right.
gas in the car.
Right. That happened at 6:44 p.m. Then, after driving around for 35 minutes, still just driving around for 35 minutes, he allegedly returned to his house and switched handguns. He left again at 7:37 and continued accepting Uber requests, which he carried out without incident. None of the passengers he took noticed anything unusual or alarming about him.
Damn, this dude's like insane.
Later that night, 8:26 p.m., Dalton called his wife and told her not to call her parents.
What?
Oh, no. Why would he not? Why? What?
Hey, babe, checking in.
Just don't call your parents.
Don't call your parents. Why? I'm talking to mom right now. Hang up.
Hey.
Wow. Dude, this is leaving like all kinds of holes.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
10:01 p.m., right? Or a.m., is it?
8 p.m.
10:01 p.m., the shooter arrived at a Kia dealership in Kalamazoo. According to a witness, after parking his car, the shooter approached the witness's boyfriend and his father at 10:05 and asked them what they were looking at. Hey, what you guys looking at? Fucking lot full of cars.
Right. Oh, you see it.
Right.
Why are you
Before-
in a dealership parking lot at 10 o'clock in the night anyways? But whatever.
Right. Before they could even respond, he fired approximately 18 rounds, fatally striking both males. Damn. Other witnesses at a Burger King parking lot across the street, they recorded the shooter fleeing. And one of them called 911 a minute after the shots were fired. Dang, can you imagine waiting in line to get your Impossible Whopper and and your nasty ass
Seen two dudes get gunned down.
and get marked.
About 10 minutes later, a
Get
third
napped.
shooting occurred outside of Cracker Barrel in Texas Township.
Oh, shit. Lexington got Texas Township?
What? Clearly. That was located about 5 miles from the Kia dealership. 4 people seated inside 2 vehicles were killed and 1 other person was wounded. Whoa.
Jeez.
Shooter reportedly approached one victim inside a white van, asked her a question, and then shot her before shooting into an adjacent vehicle which contained the other victim.
Jeez.
The shooting took about 1 minute before the gunman fled.
I mean, it don't take very long to shoot a couple bullets.
He was alleged to have returned home and reloaded his gun there.
Damn, ran out of bullets.
Gotta go all the way back home.
Yeah, but to have the wherewithal and the anger or whatever in the state of mind to continue to drive and then go back home and you got to be thinking while you're like, oh shit, what did I just do? Well, let's load him up more.
Right, well, I'm already in it now, I guess.
Oh shit, this dude's got it. This is gonna be like a $50 bill. Here, I'll take this Uber.
Right.
Hey, I think I dropped my clip back there. Can you pick it up?
Hand me that. Yeah,
Oh, this? Yeah, thank you.
hand me that magazine, will you?
Yeah. It smells like gunpowder in here. Or sulfur. It smells like sulfur in here. Yeah. It's my air freshener.
Don't worry about it, bitch. It's crazy that he didn't shoot anybody that he could have easily just killed inside of his vehicle.
Well, you don't want that in his car.
I guess. Maybe, okay, good guy with a conscience.
I don't want no blood in my car. Wow. After officers responded to the scene of the Kia dealership, they heard reports of gunfire at a Cracker Barrel. They realized there might be a mobile active shooter. You think? Well, it's Kalamazoo, so could be a lot of shootings happening at once. Interviewing witnesses, police learned the gunman was driving a dark-colored Chevrolet HHI. He's like, well, that's not the same Equinox as earlier. See, that far had him confused there. Using newly installed security footage from the Kia dealership, police put out a description of the gunman over the radio. The Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety issued a statement to the public on its Facebook page, warning residents to be on the lookout for the shooter and his vehicle.
Well, numerous traffic stops of vehicles matching the description of the gunman's vehicle were also conducted. In addition, multiple reports of gunfire at several locations, including
HHRs are around.
Probably a lot back then, including response or calls about shootings at Western Michigan University campus. They were investigated, but ultimately determined to be false.
Yeah, you know how that's going to go. Right. Some drunk ass son of a bitch.
Well, not only that, you got these old paranoid people. I think I heard a gunshot.
Right.
In reality, was a firework or something.
Right.
As police continued the manhunt, Dalton reported he continued to accept Uber fares. 12:04 a.m., February 21st, he picked up 3 people and dropped them off at a dormitory on the WMU campus.
Fantastic.
Passengers later recalled that the driver wasn't overly friendly, but did nothing to alarm them.
He still got a 3.5 on the L rating.
Right.
I'm guessing. Later, it was about 12:12 a.m. Dalton picked up 4 people, drove them to their hotel. During the ride, one passenger, who had been hearing reports of shooting spree, jokingly asked Dalton, "Are you the shooter?" Dalton simply replied, No. Fuck's sake. A few minutes later, he picked up another 3 people. And just like the previous ride, a passenger asked if he was a shooter. Which Dalton...
Well, it's probably you don't want to ask a shooter if he's the shooter in the first place. But
which
whatever.
Dalton vehemently denied. He was like, why would you ask me that?
Are you stupid or something? Just out here trying to make a living.
I was like, come on. Here, hold my gun while I open my sandwich. 12:36 a.m. Police sergeant with the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office observed Dalton dropping off 3 passengers, followed him, and requested backup. Ooh, this guy. He was like, this son of a bitch. Really?
Well, he was joined by a KDPS officer, and the 2 conducted a traffic stop at 12:40 a.m.
Oh, shit.
When additional officers arrived, the first 2 pulled Dalton out of his vehicle and arrested him. That was easy. At the time of this arrest, Dalton was wearing the jacket he purchased from the gun store, along with a bulletproof vest.
Oh, jeez.
He told police that he bought the vest for his son, who was an explorer for the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Officer. Oh, jeez. He found a handgun at the back of his waistband.
Oh, wow.
Police believe that none of the victims at the separate scenes were connected. At least 30 rounds were said to have been fired during the shootings.
Wow. Yeah. I can't believe he just got pulled over and
Just went with it.
Right. Dude, that's some... I would like to know
He had a bulletproof vest on, which tells me he was
prepared for
planning for something, but
right.
Clearly it was just like, fuck it, I'm giving up. Maybe all those passengers asking him about it, and if he was, kind of freaked him out a little bit. Now he's starting to think about it.
Is there a video of him at the jail getting questioned? There has to be.
Oh, sure there is. You gotta pay for those things.
Shouldn't. It's public freaking information.
So whatever they choose to release, yes.
After his arrest, Dalton confessed to committing the shootings. However, he blamed his actions on his Uber mobile app, claiming that its symbol resembled that of an Order of the Eastern Star. What's that? Is that the 6th thing?
Isn't that
The 6th star? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pentagram.
That's what the streets of Washington D.C. is laid out as.
Yep.
Freemasonry.
Why does Freemasonry have a compass as a...
Because they're builders.
That's right.
Compass and square and compass.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Right.
Right. He was like, damn, there's a damn pentagram as my logo that I'm working for.
Right.
And that took over his body during the events as he pressed. What?
Wait
He
a minute.
claimed that its symbol resembled that of an Order of the Eastern Star, and that logo, it took over his body during the events after he pressed the button of a new app resembling the devil when it abruptly popped up.
So out of nowhere, a new logo of an app popped up on his phone that resembled the devil, and he clicked it.
He later said that he was no longer experiencing these problems.
Well, yeah, I bet you're not.
Police indicated that he had no known criminal history or mental health record. Okay, here, wait a minute. Does he stick with this story?
I doubt it. We'll see, won't we?
What if that's true? Seen a lot of conspiracy stuff happen and a lot of paranormal shit, but a devil app pops up on your phone and you click it?
You think this would be an ongoing thing?
It might be.
Not just with this guy.
I don't know.
Come on.
Maybe that's what the school shooters are doing.
What does the Uber app look like?
I don't know. I never took an Uber. I'm sure they changed it by now, right?
Doesn't look like anything. It would be a pentagram or anything. Dude, just fucking retarded.
All right. Yeah, where did you get this from?
Yeah.
So I'm going to call bullshit on that.
Right. In the week following the shootings, Dalton was questioned by deputies with the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office who were investigating the series of shootings. They were investigating a series of shootings along I-94 and I-69 that occurred at the same time, apparently.
Really?
Although Dalton traveled in the area where the shootings occurred and had been the insurance adjuster for a damaged sheriff patrol vehicle, he was cleared of any involvement. Oh, damn. So he even adjusted the insurance for one of the patrol vehicles that was in the shootouts or something?
Oh, shit.
When the hell did these happen? There's nothing to click on there.
Well, a 9mm Walther P99 semi-automatic handgun with an extended magazine was recovered from inside Dalton's car.
I don't think we need to say semi-automatic.
Right, they all are. Police believe that the Walther P99 was used during the last two shootings, while a 9mm Glock 19 was used in the first shooting.
What did he give his wife?
A 9mm or something else.
Yeah. So this dude had 3 guns?
Yeah. Dalton reportedly switched guns after the Glock malfunctioned while firing, which they do. A lot of people, that's why they don't like Glocks. Especially if you're firing them. Well, he shot, 15 times?
Right.
Among other items, another 15 firearms, 11 long guns, and 4 handguns were recovered from his home. Holy
Jeez.
shit. So what was he going to go get more when he had enough guns at home?
Right. Well, he bought the jacket.
Man. All right. Dalton purchased the Glock from an Ashtamo Township gun store on the 12th of June, 2015. All right. He then purchased the Walther from the same store a year later.
Later that year, yeah.
Right. On August 22nd. A month later. 2 months later. However, he did not have a license to carry a concealed weapon, which is fine as long as he can see it.
Well, right, but he had that jacket on that had a holster inside of it or whatever.
The Glock was among the 4 handguns recovered from Dalton's home. Cool. I mean,
The one that he used originally.
right.
The first people killed were Tyler D. Smith, who was 17, and his father, Richard Smith, who was 53.
Oh, that was guys' Kia place.
At the Kia place.
So, who do you think was getting the Kia? I bet it was Tyler.
Probably Tyler for his birthday or graduation or something.
I bet. Son of a bitch.
All right, 4 women. Mary Jo Nye, who was 60. Mary Lou Nye, 62. Sisters, huh?
Was that Bill's wife? And
Right. Sister.
Bill's sisters?
Both of them Marys, huh? Dorothy Brown, who was 74, and Barbara Hawthorne, who was 68.
Yeah, a bunch of old people.
They were all killed at the Cracker Barrel. All 4 women were friends, and Mary Jo and Mary Lou were sisters-in-law. Okay, well, that's crazy, huh? Who marries somebody with the same name as their brother's wife.
Mary Jo, Mary Lou, huh?
Stupid. Abigail Kopf was 14, suffered several injuries at Cracker Barrel, including a gunshot wound to the head.
Holy shit.
At the time of her shooting, she was accompanied victim Barbara Hawthorne, a close friend of whom she called her grandmother. Oh, wow.
Damn.
Grandma dead.
Seems like he was shooting older people, and if the young people were there, they're just victims of being at the wrong place at the wrong time, right?
Well, the first girl he shot in the apartment complex, probably in her 30s.
Right, and all the people that he did successful Uber drive-offs were college students.
Right. That's true.
She was initially reported dead, but later confirmed to have survived.
Look at her.
As of February 23rd, she remained on a ventilator and in critical condition, though she was breathing on her own by the 28th of February and was able to open her eyes by March 3rd. Ain't that
Look at
fantastic?
her.
Right. Culp was discharged from Bronson Methodist Hospital on March 8th, transferred to the Mary Free Bed Rehabilitation Hospital in Grand Rapids. Her skull was damaged during the Cracker Barrel shooting. She underwent surgery at Bronson's Methodist Hospital to replace the missing portion of her brain. Her skull.
Right. Well, she had to undergo surgery again due to an infection induced by her previous surgery.
Always happens, dude.
Cop was just discharged July 26th, allowed to return home, but had to undergo surgery yet again August 17th due to related skin infection.
Right.
Surgery was successfully completed 2 days later.
Does she talk and walk and all that shit?
I'm assuming, right?
Wow.
Tiana Carruthers, who was 25, was the first. Oh, she was only 25. The first victim to be shot in the parking lot.
Right.
She was shot 4 times in the left arm, the legs, and back, but survived.
The one that's fake death.
Right. Her shooting occurred in the apartment complex. Right. Her arm had to be surgically reconstructed as a result of the shooting. August 2016, she underwent 2 further surgeries on her legs due to a medical setback.
Always a medical setback, dude. These doctors are gay.
What are you going to do? Sometimes surgeries don't work.
Figuratively and literally. Allegedly. 22nd of February, President's Day, Abe Lincoln's birthday, George
Washington's, I believe.
One of them. 2016, Dalton was arraigned on 16 charges, including 6 counts of moita, 2 counts of assault with intent to commit murder, 8 counts of using a firearm during the commission of a felony. He was to reappear in no attempted murder. Oh, intent to commit murder. That's the same thing, right?
Pretty much. Something tells me the using a firearm during the commission of the felony is probably more than the assault with intent to commit murder.
Right, I would say so. He was to reappear in court on the 10th of March for a preliminary examination hearing. On the 3rd of March, he was ordered to undergo a psychiatric evaluation to determine his competence to stand trial. He reappeared in court on April 22nd, where it was ruled by the Michigan Center for Forensic Psychiatry that he was found competent to stand trial.
Damn right.
Eusebio Solis, a former Calhoun County Chief Assistant Prosecutor and a former Calhoun County Commissioner, was appointed to represent Dalton in the court.
Oh, jeez. Dalton appeared May 20th for a preliminary...
Wait, they said prosecutor?
He was assistant prosecutor, yeah.
Damn, and he went to be a defense attorney.
He was a former, so he probably was like, I'll take...
He's like,
cases.
Nah, I like defending the guilty.
Right. For once.
Right.
Wait. Yeah. He's like, I think I put too many of these guys in jail.
I mean, they do say, like, the best lawyers are either defense attorneys that went to be prosecutor or a prosecutor that went to be a defense.
Well, because they know the whole system.
Right.
Dalton appeared May 20th for a preliminary hearing to determine if there was enough evidence to try him on charges. Of course there was.
Why did they take so long?
Because they're idiots. During the hearing, Dalton made a verbal outburst and interrupted Tiana Carruthers, who was the first victim attacked in the shootings.
You can't do that.
While she was testifying. He reportedly made somewhat indecipherable statements. Caused Carruthers to cry, forcing a recess to be called.
Oh.
Dalton was restrained and removed from the courtroom by sheriff's deputies. The hearing resumed later in the day with Dalton participating via video hookup from jail. Yeah. CCTV, baby.
Yeah, but that's not cool because you have a right to face your accusers and you have a right to face your victims.
Face to face, yes.
Yes. Either both. Both of them do.
Didn't we have a case like that where they never had him in court and he argued that he never got his face to face?
Right.
But when you do stuff like that,
right,
it is technically a face to face because you can see each other.
I guess. June 6th, following a pretrial conference, Dalton's attorneys announced their plans to present a legal insanity defense for their client, Howe. He was found competent. He underwent a psychiatric evaluation conducted by the Michigan Center for Forensic Psychiatry in Saline, a process that was carried out for over the next 60 days.
Holy shit.
See, I don't like the ones where it's just a couple hours. Because anybody, even an insane person, can be sane for a couple hours. So 60 days, I think that's pretty decent.
Monitoring him all the time, maybe.
Right. His trial was tentatively expected to start in late September, early October. A status conference was tentatively set for August 15th. August 12th, the conference was postponed to September 30th, with the Kalamazoo County Chief Assistant Prosecutor saying that the evaluation has not yet been finished.
Right, we need to study this guy a little bit more.
Plus, you got to get all the evidence and everything. You got to get your ducks in a row, eggs in the basket.
Right. Well, on that day that came, the conference was delayed yet again because the Dalton psychological report was not yet finished. June 13, 2017, trial date was set. Trial date was later delayed Jury selections were later scheduled to start January 3rd, 2019, with the opening statements being scheduled to January 7th.
All this, and he pleads this.
Right, January 7th, 2019, Dalton pleaded guilty to all counts against him. February 5th,
Wait, what changed?
3 years.
Right.
It's probably the best thing that was for him.
Well, I bet the psychiatric thing came back. It was like, dude,
You're fucked.
right.
Yeah, it's not happening, so how about take this plea deal and you'll be still life. Maybe we'll give you a possibility of parole, but I doubt
fuck parole.
February 5th, 2019, Dalton was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Dalton is currently in prison in the Oaks Correctional Facility.
Fantastic for this guy. Joe Sullivan, Uber's chief security officer, he released a statement reading as follows. We are horrified, heartbroken at the senseless violence in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Our hearts and prayers. Damn, no thoughts, huh? Our hearts and prayers are with the families of the victims of this devastating crime and those recovering from injuries. We have reached out to the police to help their investigation in any way that we can. I don't think you can do too much. Quote, unquote, repeat the line.
Well, they might be able to provide like the GPS
Or
of where he was.
Star ratings or complaints or anything like that. Calls are made for Uber to improve its background check system.
What are they supposed to improve? This dude didn't have a record and had nothing wrong with him.
They do the same background system as any other company does.
Idiots. Response to the shootings, Barack Obama praised law enforcement agencies and pledged federal support for the ongoing investigation.
Allahu Akbar.
Following the shootings, there was a public outcry when it was revealed there was no active shooter alert that could be sent to Kalamazoo area residents and students at Western Michigan. That's probably a problem.
Right.
An editorial calling for an emergency alert system for such high-profile incidents was published by Michigan Live, 6 days after the shootings.
Oh, shit.
March, legislation for a statewide warning system was introduced, and now you get them for like everything.
Man, stupidest shit in the world. This warning system would disseminate information on the active shooter situation or other emergency and protect residents. Will it, though? It involved local law enforcement agencies sending the info to the Michigan State Police, which was then responsible for sending text messages of warning using geolocation technology, similar to the Amber Alert. 10th of May, Michigan House of Representatives approved the legislation. June 9th, Michigan Senate approved the legislation, sent it to the governor, which was Governor Snyder at the time, for consideration. Snyder was like, you know what? I screwed over Flint in their drinking water. I guess I can at least sign this. He did that on the 24th of June.
First of all, May 10th, the House signed it, approved it, and then it took a whole month before the Michigan Senate approved it, and then it took a whole 3 weeks until Snyder signed it.
Ridiculous.
What the fuck, dude?
But if it was for their pay raise, it would have been done in 1 hour.
Right. Sad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy story, dude. Just still don't know why, huh? So that's going to do it for us in this episode of Crazy Killings, Nonsensical Killings.
Stupidity. Still no reason. I mean, there's got to be more information here.
Maybe not. You just seen it.
It'll come out.
I doubt it, unless he fucking has some interview with some radio station or something. Not a radio station, but a news station coming
Tucker
out.
Carlson, come on, buddy.
Right. Yeah, that'll do it for us. Next week, we shall debut our serial killer series with a rather long...
What is a serial killer?
A rather long, nice little explanation explaining what is a serial killer, like the official designations, and obviously we're going to get into some examples of like psychiatric and all that type of shit. There's so much... Yeah, who knew serial killers would have been studied so hard? But I mean, there's a lot.
I can get so much on a Wikipedia page of a serial killer, but when you do the actual serial killer, it's 3 sentences.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be a long one.
And I can't wait to do Jason Voorhees.
Okay. And then
Fantastic.
Our second serial killer episode will be about the first ever, well, they're regarded as the first ever serial killer in the history of America, H.H. Holmes.
Supposedly.
First documented one or whatever.
Allegedly.
But, famous one or whatever, I guess you could say. But then we'll go from there and just it'll be weird other
isn't that
stuff.
the one that he was in London too?
No. They're trying to say that he was...
The Rippler.
Yeah, the Rippler. Rippler, believe it or not. The Ripper. Yeah, but...
He might have been.
Impossible. But yeah, we'll take a look at that, and then we'll be back next week. Or next week we will be back, and then we'll get to our mafia, and then
We got some females coming up too. Female serial killers.
Of course, yes.
We haven't had no female.
Because they don't do
Just
stupid
the
shit like
high
that.
school girls.
Right.
Burning that one girl alive. Oh my gosh.
That's about it. Dude.
Damn, but they do the most gruesome. Holy shit.
Bitches are bitches.
Right.
We'll be back next week.
Fucking on the rag.
For more Outlaws, Gunslingers, we're about the Michiganders with
Bing dang.